Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel that takes you deep inside the San Francisco 49ers. I am your host, Jack Hammer, and today we have some breaking news for you regarding 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy. According to NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero, Purdy is heading out to Jacksonville today, where he is set to spend the next few weeks working with his quarterback coach, Will Hewlett, along with orthopedic specialist, Dr. Tom Gormley. Now, this is just the latest sign that Purdy is ahead of schedule in his rehab from the torn UCL that he suffered in the NFC Championship game back at the end of January in Philadelphia. Now, it's not the first time that Purdy has worked with Gormley or Hewlett. They actually first got together following Purdy's senior season at Iowa State. And their work together can be seen in a number of ways, especially when you talk about the velocity with which Purdy is able to throw the ball. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Purdy this offseason regarding his arm strength, but here's what's happened. When Purdy first started working out with Hewlett and Gormley, he was throwing the ball at around 50 to 51 miles per hour. Now that's well below NFL averages. NFL average quarterbacks can throw the ball around 54 to 55 miles per hour. But as a result of the work that Purdy put in with Gormley and Hewlett, he was able to get that speed up into the 55, 56 mile per hour range. That is a little bit above average, and that is a big piece of the puzzle when it comes to Brock Purdy. And Purdy had this to say actually about the work that he's put in with Tom Gormley and with Hewlett. His emphasis on hip-shoulder separation, as well as the unique pre-post throwing routines, have added multiple layers to my game. Multiple NFL coaches told me they noticed more velocity and efficiency in my throws from my senior year film to what they saw at the NFL Combine. And then you start to look at what he actually did on the field for the 49ers, winning 8 straight games, leading them to the NFC Championship game, putting up numbers that we really haven't seen from a quarterback in San Francisco, especially as a rookie, in terms of when you look at what Purdy was able to do when it comes to his touchdown percentage, interception percentage, especially. Now, beyond that, this is a big piece, again, in the step towards Purdy being ready to go week 1 for the 49ers. Head coach Kyle Shanahan told us during the offseason program that their hope was to have Purdy ready to go week 1. But in order for that to happen, he was going to have to see him on the field first. He wasn't just going to be throwing him out into the game. So the fact that Purdy is now going to be spending the next few weeks out in Jacksonville, that he's going through a full-on routine, that he's ahead of schedule, sure seems to point towards Brock Purdy being ready to go at some point during training camp. One date that I've thrown out quite a bit is August 11th, August 14th, right in that ballpark, because that's about a month from that point to the start of the regular season. We'll see. He might even be able to beat that number because everything, like I said, right now is well ahead of schedule. When you look at where Purdy is in terms of throwing, remember, he began throwing a full-size football on May 29th. Now, typically when you return from these UCL injuries, you start by throwing tennis balls, racquetballs, lighter types of objects like that, and then you progress up to throwing a full-size football. Well, according to all the reports that we've heard, Purdy was throwing a full-size football on May 29th, which is about a week ahead of where he should have been to begin his throwing regimen. But he was already throwing a full-size football at that point. So I wouldn't rule out the fact that Purdy could be back really maybe even for the entire preseason and training camp. We'll find out now whether he's going to play in preseason games or not. I'm a little bit skeptical on Purdy actually taking the field in the preseason games. I think that's a perfect time to get the reps for Trey Lance and the other quarterbacks on the roster, Sam Darnold and so on. Get them their reps during the preseason games, especially. Give them that time to really show what they can do. That's their part to earn their role on the team, especially if you expect Brock Purdy to be the starting quarterback. So there you have it. Take it for what it's worth. Brock Purdy continuing his rehab, getting out to Jacksonville. He's going to be spending the next week out there working with his quarterback coach, Will Hewlett, and orthopedic specialist, Dr. Tom Gormley. So like I said, take it for what it's worth. Thanks for tuning in. If you could do me a favor, smash that like button for me, and then after you do that, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and then turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the updates right here on Inside the 49ers with Jack Hammer. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk with you soon.